Wagwan, my loves, is Knowledge Butterfly. As always, sending you guys out peace, blessings, love, and abundance on this Venus Day on Friday. It's definitely, I feel the love and the love energy frequency going on. Right now, I'm over here about to make me a mushroom Philly with no cheese, on some wheat bread, and I wanted some steak fries, but them niggas didn't have any. So I actually had to get, y'all have to excuse me, I like see this energy like floating over my head, and it just caught my attention. So kind of, yeah, but I had to get the round tater tots, or whatever you call them, the round potatoes. I love those too. I just was in the mood for the steak fries. But you know what, everything happens for a reason. Everything truly is, it is what it is. It's divine. It's all in how you take it. Because if it's not a blessing, it's a fucking lesson. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it is. Now, and actually your lessons are still your blessings. It's just according to how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you learned the lesson, you can turn it into a blessing. Can I get an amen, an amen, raw? Anywho's, this video is real quick. First off, let me big up a few people. Let me big up Woke Media. If you don't follow Woke Media on YouTube, you need to subscribe to that particular channel. For whoever runs that channel, they're always posting these dope ass books. I have been on my Gemini shit, like on that mental wanting to know, that curiosity and reading. I've been reading so much right now. I am currently reading a book on how to use your astral power, something about creating a miraculous life. Don't quote me on it, but the author of the book is Reginald DeKoven, and DeKoven is DeKoven. Magnit, MACNITT. And shout out and big up and send much love out to Dr. Alim Bay and his beautiful wife, the priestess, the empress, his queen. Because they're the ones where I got that book from, or the idea of that book from, because they were reading it on a video they did a couple of years ago, and it just obviously it came into my path when I was supposed to get in tune to it. So I definitely big up them for that. However, getting the book, it's a discontinued book, so I was like, okay, let me see how much it costs. On Amazon, the book is like $52. And I was like, I'm not for sure if I want to do that. That's kind of like a last option. Let me just see what happens with the universe. So I follow Woke Media. I subscribe to his channel, and he had posted this really cool astrology book, and I'm really like been on my learning about astrology, really getting into the natal charts, and I'm actually going to do a practice natal chart this weekend for someone. And make a long story short, I asked him, the person that runs that channel, had he ever posted that book before? Like, because he posts links to books, free links to all kind of books all the time, like almost every day, if not every day. And like 8 hours later, this king, this god, he posted the link to the book I wanted. And so I've been reading that book and still reading the astrology book, going back and forth with that. But I've already started implementing some things from the book. I had already started implementing a mantra or affirmation that Dr. Alim Bay had given, and him and his queen had tweaked it to fit them. So I actually used their revised version. But I know the more that I do it, I'll add things to it fitting my situation for now, because that's what we're always supposed to do, you know, continue to grow by being comfortable with adding our little flavor to it, our own magic to it. So yeah, I have to shout out Woke Media for that. And like I said, subscribe to that brother, subscribe to Dr. Alim Bay if you haven't. He does a great job teaching on everything, from teaching from the ancient melanated indigenous history, the true real history, the mystery, the my story, as I can't remember who said mystery was my story. I was Brother Panic. Shout out and big up Brother Panic, because I learned a lot of information from him last year. Brother Panic was in my ear more than anybody in the last year and part of the beginning of this year. And also, like I said, Aquarius Maximus. I have to big her up because she's a queen, and she actually has cryptocurrency coming out called Guap Coin. So if you have not heard of her, go follow her on Instagram. It's Aquarius Maximus, and invest in this sister because she's a sister. She created that on her own. So we need to, we talk about supporting one another. Let's really do that. Let's like really support one another. She actually gave me free guac coin because she was giving it out at that time, but I'm definitely going to invest and put more money into it because I asked her if we were able to do that. She said we would be, but right now she's working on the site, so I'll have to wait to add to it later, but that's fine. I'm still going to add to it, especially coming up in this Cancer season, because that's what I want to talk about, Cancer and the melanated people. Aquarius Maximus was actually posting some things about the Dominican Republic, because if you're not, I just found out this week actually that American tourists were, and I like to call us the melanated ones, American. We're American because we're, the Moors, the originals, American people, that American people were going over there and were being poisoned and dying, from drinking alcohol, from water, whatever, was going on over there. And, honestly, I'd be on the defensive, a lot of times for melanated people, because I'd realized the trauma that is in our strain, that's in our DNA. So if hatred, fear, and anger is in the Caucasian or European people, then we have a lot of trauma. We also have fear, and really, because remember, all the negative things, there's only truly two I won't say emotions, but we'll just say emotions that all other emotions come from. They're just a branch of it. So it's either love or it's fear. And so anger, hate, all that stems from fear. And, love is going to be bliss, joy, happiness, and all those things like that. So because the tides are turning and we are coming in we're in the age of Aquarius. So it is definitely an awakening, and definitely a huge awakening for indigenous people, because we're actually really coming into the fact of us being indigenous, of us, and not just indigenous everywhere, that on this plane Earth, in the universe, everywhere, not just this particular plane, we are indigenous. And also coming into knowing that we're all connected. I did a video talking about the can in American or American and Puerto Rican and Jamaican and Dominican and African, and how the reason why we had that can on the end, like that being a spiritual, and I was talking about the Ka connection to it, because Ka is spirit. And it was just saying we are the true spiritual people, because everything that we do, they call it soul. But anywho's, I say all that to say, Aquarius Maximus had talked about, maybe a month or two ago, maybe even longer, she had posted about Cancer being the sign of indigenous melanated people. And if you're familiar with the star chart or natal chart, you'll know that Cancer is in the 4th house, and the 4th house is the house of home. So home is your foundation. So, and it makes a whole lot of sense, because my higher self had also revealed to me that the can on the end of the countries of, even though, like I said, we're indigenous everywhere, but the reason why there's cans on the end of that is because of Canis major and minor. That is tying into Sirius. And so we are the people of from the stars of the Sirius, galaxy, or whatever you want to call it, from Orion. We are those people. And so now that we are going into this Cancer season, now that we have the North Node in Cancer, and the North Node is about things to come. It's kind of like speaking, it's almost like futuristic, whereas the South Node is karmic. It's your past. So the North Node is in Cancer, the South Node is in Capricorn. And so Capricorn, of course, is the lessons. It's teaching you something. So it's teaching us we have to let go of a lot of the shit that we've been doing to ourselves, the self-sabotage. That's exactly why you have to work on yourself first, because you can't be trying to save your people, if you haven't even saved yourself, if you haven't even started to heal your own wounds and your own, issues. It's not gonna work. So I really just want to do this quick video just to say that, I appreciate all the people who are, posting videos and doing videos who are passionate about what they do and who care about what they do. Like, they're doing it from a place of love. That's why you have to be your authentic, unique self, because when you are your authentic, unique self, you are able to really start to fulfill your soul purpose, because you're being true to yourself. You're speaking your truth. I even know that, like, for me, when I don't do a video for a while, I can feel a build up like here in my jawline. It feels almost like I have to pop my jaw, like it's tight or something, because I haven't expressed myself. And so I obviously have energy that needs to come out, and I need to release, and I need to share that information. And then once I share it, and I've shared, you know, what I really need to get out, I feel like $1 million fucking dollars. You know what I'm saying? I feel so fresh and so clean in my outcast. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, in order for us to get over this point of karma, we have to be honest and true with ourselves. I had commented on Aquarius Maximus' post about the Dominican Republic when she was saying that was karmic, what they were going through, because they had to get rid of the self-hatred. I was like, she is so on point, because I remember back in the 90s when I would meet people from certain islands, not Jamaica, but from certain islands like Dominican Republic, per se, in Puerto Rico. They would be like, we not black. And I'm looking at them, and even though I'm not big on the black term, you know what I'm saying? That's why I normally say melanated, whatever, or indigenous, original, you know what I'm saying? Prime, like Optimus Prime, the first original people. I was taken aback. I was like, well, they look literally like you look like a nigga, but they would say they weren't black. So yeah, they definitely are having to deal with that. And she was talking about the separation from Haiti, because it was a division. It wasn't just, in order for something to happen on the physical, it has to happen first spiritually. It has to happen first in your thoughts and your feelings. Like, it has to be a spiritual, you know, type of energy in order for it to manifest in the physical. And so in order for Haiti, quote unquote Haiti, or Hades, like hell, to be divided from the Dominican Republic, for them to, and they had to try to make one side feel like they were better than the other, and they quote unquote demonized. And I don't like demonized, because demon actually means genius, and that's a play on words. If you learn the etymology, start learning etymology of words, you'll know that we've been using a lot of words in the wrong context. And the reason being, it was definitely purposeful. It was done on purpose, because people wanted us to start cursing ourselves. Curse words are not saying shit. It's not saying fuck that nigga. It's not saying nick. None of that is really bad. What's bad is the fact that we have deemed certain words to be negative. We've deemed nigga, which actually relates to Naga, which is the serpent people. Naga. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like a king. We're the king of the world, basically, of the universe, basically. You know what I'm saying? And we've taken, so we allowed that to become a negative term. We allowed for Cancer. Now, we are the people of Cancer. Our home and our foundation, our mother, the mother is in Cancer, right? That's why we are so fucked up when it comes to the melanated woman, because we have they turned Cancer into to describe a particular diseases. So we be like, fuck Cancer, I hate Cancer. Nigga, Cancer is the mother, it's the home, it's where our foundation lies. So we have got to start to get back to things. It's like even the word primitive. Anytime when they're talking about the ancient ones, which is us and our ancestors, when they're talking about the old ones, the great old ones, the titans and all those things, they will use words like primitive. If you look at the definition of primitive, they tell you that they basically try to make you feel like it was something that was not civilized yet. It was more savage. It was, you know, almost like, it makes you think of caveman, because that's exactly the image, the symbol they gave you with that word. You know what I'm saying? So because we took that symbol as being the meaning of that word, they were able to change our perception of that word. But when you look at the etymology of primitive, it tells you that it's first and fucking original. So that means whenever they say these people were primitive, oh, you mean they were original? Yeah, we are original. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally taking your shit back, because it all belongs, excuse me, when you know it all belongs to you, then you turn it back into that positive energy, what it was meant to be. You place it back on the higher vibration and frequency that it was meant to be, and you put the correct emotions to that. So, you know, I really just wanted to express that we have got to, it even like, I think, what's his name? Asir, the Duke of Tears. He's really good in when it comes to history. This king knows a lot of information about, you know, the ancient Moors, you know, which is us and our ancestors. And he was talking about the Confederate flag, how I was one of those people as well who thought it was this negative thing. It had to do with like white power, but it's just like the swastika. All of those symbols belong to us. And the Confederate flag, actually, you have to go to his page, and I said to Duke Tears, he can actually break it down more. I love that, break it down more. But was basically a symbol used by our tribes. It said that we were coming as one. It's the X. It's Osiris, nigga. And so it's just like we really, 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 our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And so if you don't have that knowledge, or I shouldn't say don't have it, it's there. But if you don't tap back into your ancient knowledge, then you are going to be ignorant, which means you are ignoring, you know, all of that information that's out there. Because you're not vibing. You're not on the right vibration. But I'm going to end the video on that note. I really didn't want to do a long video. I just wanted to expand on the video I did probably like August of last year, talking about, you know, the can. You know what I'm saying? How they even try to say that you know, make it negative, like make it negative as if you are in a can, like, you know, like they canned you, you know, say type of thing, you know. So everything that was positive that had to do with us, they had to make it bad. You know what I'm saying? Just like the dark mother, primordial, primitive, all it has PRM, prime energy, they had to turn that negative. So now that we're starting to remember who we are, melanated women especially, we are causing a quick raise in vibration. I'm not saying the men are not playing a part, but when a melanated woman starts to know who you are, and you start to take back, you know, your power, it is definitely causing for a lot of things to happen, and the stars are all lining up. And when I say stars, I'm talking about what people call the planets. They are still the stars, just like we're stars, are all lining up. And so now we are getting back to our true selves. This is definitely going to be this, and this is also a powerful year because this is the year of Jupiter. This is a number 3 year, and Jupiter is about higher knowledge and expanding. So it could be expanding on knowledge. It's expanding in money, because Jupiter is the benefactor. It's the great benefactor. So that type of energy. And right now Jupiter was actually in opposition. I think on June the 10th it was in opposition, meaning that it was directly in line, opposite from the sun, and the earth was in between it. So, you know, Jupiter's energy is very powerful, and it appears to be closer to the earth, closest that it'll be all year until a whole nother year, to a whole nother cycle. So it is just really so much energy happening in the heavens right now that is impacting what's going on right now. So we just all need to just make sure that we, you know, keep ourselves in line and keep learning. This, like I said, this is the season of Gemini. We really should be very curious. We really should be wanting to know what the fuck is going on, and not judging somebody, just really taking into account what's really going on, that this is all spiritual. It all happens spiritually before it even comes down here. So spiritually, this is already won. It's just that it's playing out now in the physical, and you remember, it's always going to look worse before it gets better. You know what I'm saying? You have to hit the very bottom before you can start going back up to the top. But anywho's, guys, I'm going to end the video on that note because I am cooking. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you for your love. I have all the information below for subscriptions, for my Facebook, for my Instagram, for my PayPal, for my Cash App. Click on it if you want to, guys. I really appreciate you, and I love you. Peace.